걱정했잖아.
왜 걱정해? 환자 취급하지 말랬지.
The Baeksang Arts Awards are like the Oscars of K-dramas, prestigious, career-defining, and the stamp of industry respect. But here's the plot twist. Some of the most iconic actors still don't have one. From massive hits to award-worthy performances, these 7 stars have been snubbed again and again, and it makes no sense. First up, je-hoon.
서영준은 자살이 아닙니다. 서영준은 타살입니다. 윤정희를 유괴한 진범이 죽인 겁니다.
Yes, je-hoon. We were shocked too. How has this insanely talented actor still not won a single Baeksang? Sure, he's won songs and multiple acting awards elsewhere, but when it comes to the Baeksang, nothing. And that's wild considering his filmography is packed with critically acclaimed performances. Let's start with Move to Heaven. Je-hoon played Cho Sang-gu, a former underground fighter and ex-con who suddenly becomes the guardian of his late brother's autistic son. The role was anything but simple. On the surface, Sang-gu is rough, cold, emotionally blocked. But underneath, he's drowning in guilt, haunted by loss, and desperately trying to reconnect with his humanity. Je-hoon brought all of that to life, not through loud breakdowns, but through restrained pain. The awkward silences, the stiff body language, the quiet moments where love started to creep back in. It was tender, heartbreaking, and honestly one of his most mature performances to date. Then there's Taxi Driver. Je-hoon did a full 180 here, playing Kim Do-gi, a former Special Forces officer turned vigilante taxi driver. This wasn't just action for action's sake. He fully transformed himself every episode. One day he's a sleazy real estate agent, the next a shy, awkward school teacher. He set a new standard for acting unhinged yet deeply principled, a vigilante who wears masks not just to fool others, but to survive the trauma he carries. His voice changed. His posture changed. His entire vibe shifted depending on the persona. It was thrilling to watch and impossible to look away. And of course, Signal. In this time-warping crime thriller, Je-hoon played Park Hae-young, a brilliant but jaded profiler who discovers a walkie-talkie that lets him talk to a detective from the past. It sounds like sci-fi, but Lee grounded it in raw emotional realism. Hae-young isn't just smart, he's shattered. His trauma leaks through in the way he avoids eye contact, the way he clings to logic like it's armor, the way hope scares him more than failure. If we are being honest here, Je-hoon is not just that typical actor. The guy disappears into every role like it's second nature. He goes for stories that actually mean something, projects with heart, with purpose, with something to say. If there's anyone who deserves to be standing on the Baeksang stage holding that trophy, it's Je-hoon. Seriously, what more does he have to do? Next up, hye-sun.
문사가 타고 싶은 건 이건데 여기로 와야죠.
Yeah, this one hurts. Because how is it possible that the hye-sun, one of the most versatile, emotionally resonant, and technically brilliant actresses working today, still hasn't taken home a single Baeksang? Let's start with the drama that turned the entire industry's head. Mr. Queen. She played Queen Cheoran, a Joseon-era royal suddenly possessed by the soul of a modern-day man. The setup is absurd on paper, but hye-sun turned it into one of the most nuanced, layered, and unexpectedly moving performances in recent memory. Her physical comedy was flawless, every stumble, twitch, and swagger perfectly timed. But what really sold it was the control she had over every beat of the performance. One minute, she's a chaotic, foul-mouthed man trapped in a woman's body. The next, she's a vulnerable queen struggling to survive palace politics and protect the people she's grown to care for. She made it hilarious without being cringy, heartbreaking without melodrama, and campy without ever losing the emotional truth. The drama was a massive hit, and audiences and critics alike praised her performance as the soul of the show. She was nominated for Best Actress at the 2021 Baeksangs. And honestly, she could've, should've, and maybe in any other year would have won. She's especially strong in dramas centered on families, forgiveness, and healing, like Still 17, My Golden Life, See You in My 19th Life, and Welcome to Samdal-ri. And while she's amazing in crying scenes and emotional breakdowns, she never overdoes it. She knows exactly how much to give and when to pull back. It's subtle, but it hits hard. And if you think she's just a drama queen, think again. On the big screen, she's just as commanding. In Innocence, she played a sharp, no-nonsense lawyer defending her own mother in a small-town murder case, and she devoured that role. She was magnetic. Every glance, every pause, every breakdown, perfectly controlled yet emotionally raw. That performance earned her multiple Best Actress nominations, including at the Baeksangs. But once again, no win. This is someone who has done it all. Romance, comedy, melodrama, thrillers, slice of life, and historicals, and crushed every single one. There's practically no genre where she hasn't left a mark. She disappears into every character, never repeats herself, and somehow keeps leveling up. And yet, no Baeksang win, no trophy, no official recognition from one of Korea's most prestigious award shows. Up next, Yoo-yeon-seok.
내가 그렇게 별로예요? 남자로 내가 그렇게 아니에요.
Yeah, I know. Shocking, right? How is this man, who breathes life into every fiery, passionate character, builds electrifying chemistry with his co-stars like it's second nature, and has made us cry, swoon, and root for him time and time again, still Baeksang-less? And get this, most of the dramas he's starred in, Baeksang nominated, Mr. Sunshine, Hospital Playlist, Romantic Doctor, Teacher Kim, Reply 1994, all critically acclaimed, all featured heavily in Baeksang lineups. But while his co-stars walked away with nominations or wins, Yoo-yeon-seok's name somehow missing from the list. It's honestly baffling when you actually look at his performances. In Romantic Doctor, his portrayal of Kang Dong-ju, a hot-headed, emotionally layered surgeon torn between ambition and vulnerability, was a major reason the drama hit so hard in its early episodes. You felt his rage, his guilt, his need to prove himself. Every time a new installation of the series takes place, fans cannot help but compare them to Yeon-seok's performance because he is just that good. And then there's Mr. Sunshine, arguably his most iconic role. As Gu Dong-mae, a Japanese swordsman with a brutal past and a broken heart, he delivered a haunting performance that stole the spotlight every time he appeared. He was dark, ruthless, and somehow achingly tragic. Hospital Playlist showed us a completely different side. As An Jong-won, he was warm, funny, compassionate, and low-key the emotional glue of the friend group. He balanced surgical skill with spiritual struggle and gave us one of the most beloved characters in the entire series. And still, no Baeksang nomination, not for any of these, not even a nod, and it's definitely not a matter of range. Yoo-yeon-seok has nailed villains, romantics, tortured souls, and comic relief. He's done films, dramas, and theater. He's sung, danced, fought, cried, and delivered monologues that cut straight to the bone. He's the kind of actor who disappears into every role and makes you forget you're watching someone act. And the industry knows this. He keeps landing prestige roles, cast alongside Korea's best and brightest, holding his own every time. The public knows it too. His characters consistently trend, his performances go viral, and fan discussions? Never quiet. So why hasn't Baeksang caught up? Whether it's stiff competition, a bias toward lead roles, or just the curse of being the standout in an ensemble, Yoo-yeon-seok remains one of the most criminally overlooked actors in the game. And honestly, we're not over it. Next, this one's long overdue, Kim So-hyun.
야, 뭐야?
At just 26, she's already a seasoned actress with one of the most impressive careers of her generation. She started young, but from the beginning, she was never just a filler role. As a child actress, she wasn't there to simply look cute or bridge to the adult cast. She set the emotional foundation of the story. In dramas like The Moon Embracing the Sun, Missing You, and I Hear Your Voice, Kim So-hyun played the younger versions of iconic female leads and made viewers invested before the main plot even think about it. She was the first one audiences saw. And in so many of these dramas, it was Kim So-hyun's performance that kept people watching. From grief to jealousy to quiet heartbreak, she portrayed emotions with a rawness and maturity that felt way beyond her years. And the results speak for themselves. These weren't just popular dramas, they were cultural moments. And at the center of them all, Kim So-hyun. Even more impressive is how seamlessly she grew up on screen. Her roles matured with her, and she didn't play it safe. In Who Are You? School, 2015, she played twin sisters with opposite personalities, one vulnerable and bullied, the other confident and guarded. It was a masterclass in duality. You never questioned it was the same actress. That performance alone could have landed her a nomination. Then came Love Alarm, where she became one of Netflix Korea's first breakout faces. The character was quiet, torn between love and self-worth, and So-hyun made every look and silence feel heavy. She didn't need to overact, she understood nuance. In River Where the Moon Rises, she stepped into a full-on warrior princess role, a fierce, layered character in a historical epic. And after the original male lead was replaced mid-production, she carried the show on her back with barely a stumble. She anchored that drama. Then in Good Boy, she surprised everyone again, this time as a cold, emotionally scarred ex-Olympian hiding trauma under icy detachment. Vulnerable but sharp, stoic but not empty. It was another reminder, Kim So-hyun doesn't repeat herself. She challenges herself. And the thing is, she's never been carried by a co-star or a hit script. She carries the drama. She's the emotional core. Whether it's first love, heartbreak, revenge, or justice, she makes you feel all of it. Here's where it gets frustrating. Her dramas have been Baeksang regulars, Love Alarm, River Where the Moon Rises, Page Turner, The Tale of Nokdu, all acknowledged. But So-hyun herself, not a single win. And in some years, not even a nomination. It makes no sense. She's been consistently excellent for more than 20 years. She was dominating prime time before most of today's leads even debuted. If Baeksang is about honoring growth, legacy, range, and impact, how is Kim So-hyun still overlooked? Next, brace yourself for this one. Chang-wook.
너 그제 안 같았어. 걱정하지 마.
Yes, the Chang-wook still hasn't won a Baeksang. Shocking, right? This is the same man who defined the action romance genre. Healer wasn't just a hit, it was a blueprint. He juggled high-stakes stunts, emotional trauma, and heart-melting romance like it was nothing. That role alone, easily Baeksang-worthy. But nope, not even a nomination. Then came the K2. He did 80% of his own stunts, knife fights, rooftop chases, brutal hand-to-hand combat. It was like watching a Korean Jason Bourne, but with actual acting range. And let's not forget Suspicious Partner, where he balanced courtroom drama, clever humor, and the slowest of slow burns. Or If You Wish Upon Me and Melting Me Softly, where he leaned into quieter, more emotionally complex roles. He's not afraid to step out of his comfort zone, even when the script doesn't always meet him halfway. But the worst of evil? That was a career-defining turn. As Park Joon-mo, Chang-wook played an undercover cop infiltrating a deadly drug ring, and he absolutely disappeared into the role. This wasn't just action, this was psychological warfare. Every twitch, every breakdown, every moment of hesitation was layered with fear, guilt, and desperation. You could feel his moral compass breaking episode by episode, like he was suffocating in his own choices. The physicality was there, sure, but the real impact was in the way his eyes carried the weight of a man crumbling from the inside. And fans noticed. Critics praised it. The drama racked up several Baeksang nominations. But Chang-wook left off the list. Again, some viewers were furious. Others swear he was on a leaked shortlist before mysteriously disappearing from the final noms. It was like he was erased from the conversation entirely. And honestly, how? He gave one of the most intense, nuanced performances of the year. Some say it's a genre bias. Action dramas, fantasy, and noir don't always get awards love. Others blame industry politics or just plain oversight. But at this point, it's getting ridiculous. We're not just talking about a hardworking actor, we're talking about someone who's carried entire dramas on his back, reinvented himself more than once, and built a global fandom that still shows up 10 years later. Chang-wook has more than earned his place among the greats. Let's talk about one of the biggest snubs of the decade, Kim Ji-won.
걱정했잖아.
왜 걱정해? 환자 취급하지 말랬지.
Because how is it that this woman, one of the most quietly powerful, emotionally expressive actresses of her generation, still hasn't won a Baeksang? Seriously, it's baffling. And honestly, We're just as frustrated as you are. From the moment she showed up on screen, she's been undeniable. Whether it was giving us second lead syndrome in The Heirs, stealing hearts as the sharp, witty army doctor in Descendants of the Sun, or going full powerhouse mode in Fight for My Way, Kim Ji-won has consistently delivered versatile, emotionally rich performances that stay with you. And more recently, she's been on fire. In My Liberation Notes, she gave us one of her most mature, introspective roles to date. As Mi-jung, she barely raised her voice, but somehow said everything. The quiet desperation, the longing, the soul-crushing reality of being stuck in life. It was raw, poetic, and honestly, one of the most Baeksang-worthy performances of that year. The show got the critical love, the writing got the awards, but Kim Ji-won left out of the winner's circle again. Then came Queen of Tears, and Kim Ji-won unlocked a new level. As Hong Hye-in, she started off as this cold, intimidating chaebol heiress. But episode by episode, she peeled back the layers to reveal pain, fear, and so much buried love. And the way she pulled it off? Nothing short of masterful. Her chemistry with Kim So-hyun wasn't just good, it was the kind that makes history. Their dynamic helped Queen of Tears become TVN's highest-rated drama ever, surpassing even Crash Landing on You. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about chemistry or ratings. Kim Ji-won delivered one of the most emotionally complex performances of the year. She embodied the grief of a terminal illness, the numbness of a marriage falling apart, and the quiet, cautious hope of falling in love all over again, with the same person. And she didn't need grand monologues or dramatic breakdowns to get there. It was all in her eyes, her silences, the way she carried herself. She made you feel everything. And yet, no Baeksang win, not even a nomination. Fans were stunned, especially when Kim So-hyun took home the Daesang at the 2024 Asia Artist Awards and earned a Best Actor nomination at Baeksangs for the same drama. And don't get us wrong, he earned every bit of that recognition. But so did she. It wasn't just his story, that emotional roller coaster, that heartbreak, that epic love. Kim Ji-won carried just as much of it, if not more. And what makes this even harder to swallow is her resume. Kim Ji-won is the only actor to have worked with all four of Korea's most legendary drama writers, Kim Yoon-suk, Lim Sang-chun, Park Hae-young, and Park Ji-eun. She's done action, romance, comedy, slice of life, and everything in between. The only thing missing from her already stacked career? That elusive Baeksang trophy. And at this point, this has to change. Next, yeah, this one hurts. Ji-sung still hasn't won a Baeksang. Not even once.
필요해요. 왜? 처음 역할의 닥터?
How is that possible? This is the man who gave us Kill Me, Heal Me, a performance that redefined what K-drama acting could look like. He didn't just play one character, he played 7. And not as a gimmick. He became each one. From a stoic businessman to a teenage girl in pigtails, Ji-sung made it all feel raw, real, and devastating. That role is legendary. People still talk about it. And yet, no win. Then there's Defendant. A prosecutor wakes up on death row, accused of killing his own family, with no memory of it. The suspense? Insane. The emotional weight? Crushing. Ji-sung carried that show with a performance so intense, it left viewers breathless. Ratings? Sky high. Baeksang? Silent. And the devil judge? That was Ji-sung at his most unpredictable. As Kang Yo-han, he was equal parts hero and villain, flipping from charismatic to chilling in a heartbeat. Every scene was layered, loaded, magnetic. Critics called it one of his most complex roles ever. Still, not even a nomination. Fast forward to Connection in 2024, and Ji-sung leveled up again. A narcotics cop forcibly addicted to a mystery drug, unraveling a 20-year conspiracy while barely holding himself together. Ji-sung lived that role. He lost 15 kilograms. He hyperventilated on set and kept going, using that real panic in the scene. You see it in his eyes, the desperation, the trauma, the fight. It's not acting, it's warfare. And yet, Baeksang's only acknowledgement? A single Best Actor nomination. Back in 2015. For Kill Me, Heal Me. That's it. For a guy who's been serving raw, emotionally brutal, career-defining performances for over 2 decades, that's not just an oversight, it's a travesty. Ji-sung has never taken the easy route. He doesn't coast on looks or charm. He chooses pain, mess, moral ambiguity, and nails it every time. So what gives? Bad timing? Industry politics? Just pure bad luck? Whatever the reason, it's time for Baeksang to fix it. Ji-sung isn't just one of the best. He's in a league of his own, and he deserves that trophy. Click now to see our full ranking of the top 100 most talented K-drama actors, because even if the Baeksangs missed them, we definitely didn't. So now, we want to hear from you. Who do you think deserves a Baeksang but keeps getting snubbed? Sound off in the comments, and let's give these stars the recognition they deserve.